Hello everyone. Good morning, ma'am. Today I'm going to talk about the movie Remember the Titans, which was released in the year 2000. It is directed by Boaz Yakin. He's an American writer and director. So now I'm going to talk about the originality and the novelty of the film. So this may just look like a sports film, but it became a powerful story of communication, leadership, and unity. So let's discuss on how this movie became a role model and an example of communication, leadership, and unity during one of the most divided periods in the American history. So it's just more than just a game. In 1971, in Alexandria and Virginia, T.C. Williams High School's football team actually faced one of the most turbulent period in the nation. So it's just not another underdog sports story. It's a profound exploration of how black and white students into one football team, not by choice, but by law. So this tension creates the football team into a miniature version of the society which America faced as itself. So this movie breaks the sports film formula. So unity throughout the struggle. So trust is built and it's not given. So the team doesn't become united because they win games. They unite because they forced and they confront each other emotionally and mentally. So in the movie, roommates from different races across long practices and exhaustion, breaking ego, which shows the core message that the struggle becomes the foundation of the trust. And in the second thing, conflict before teamwork. So here, unlike um, traditional sport films, the major theme of the movie that the leadership doesn't come from shouting orders. It comes from communication, listening, understanding, and shared expectations. It shows that the communication is better and is key more than the authority. And redefining the hero's journey. The originality of the film speaks that there is no single star in this movie. Unlike traditional sport films, there is no single star specified here. Every player in this movie matters. Example for Jerry, Julius, PT, and many others matter in this movie. Julius' leadership actually, and Petty's humorizing tension. So these create and make there is no single star in the movie. And the dual leadership model speaks out that Coach Boone and Coach Yost represent complementary leadership styles across with each one of them. So Boone actually pushes boundaries and demands excellence, while Yost provides stability and institutional knowledge. So their partnership here demonstrates that effective leadership requires both challenge and support at the same time. This film provocates that how leaders must negotiate in times of crisis, their own differences before they can unite others. So a powerful lesson in collaborative leadership is provided in this movie and speculated in a perfect manner. On to the next one. There is a masterclass in communication theory in this movie. So, intergroup communication, which is much more important as showcased in the movie, conflict resolution. So, here in the movie, the characters learn to address tensions directly rather than avoiding. Nonverbal communication is the most important thing in the movie, or silence in especially in special scenes, eye contact, and physical spacing between the characters, body language often communicate more than the words in the movie. So this film represents how players read and respond to unspoken messages, which is not communicated directly between the characters. Identity negotiation. So players navigate multiple identities, race, team membership, individual personality, learning that is identity complex and multi-layered rather than fixed or singular, which differs from each and every scene. Visual language and symbolic power. So as we can see here, meaning provocates beyond the dialogue. So visual symbols play a powerful role in the expression of movie. So training camp here showcases that there is isolation which leads to a transformation, and the music which bridges the cultural gap between the communities, and the football field which provides the neutral ground where merit prevails. So this is the intentional design choices on the making of the movie. And this movie still remains as the timeless relevance. So even today, organizations struggle with diversity, leadership conflicts, and communication gaps, as shown in the movie. This film still remains relevant because it doesn't offer any shortcuts. It shows the hard path that needs to be followed. Why the story still matters? This is an most important question in the modern application right now. So beyond football, the lessons extend far beyond sports in this movie. We can connect this movie to our real life situations in the corporate world, like teams, colleges, workplaces, and communities. So any group with differences can learn from the story. Even in our class, we have differences in ethnicity, in the color, in everything. But still, we can learn from this movie. So, what we can learn from this movie? The real victory. So, the Titans undefeated this season is impressive, but that's not the real victory. So, the real victory is learning to stand together despite differences. So, it is more important to stand together despite the differences that we have. So, what we have learned from this movie? Communication builds champions, not talent alone. So remember the Titans in this movie teaches us that the champions are not built by talent alone, but by communication, courage, and unity throughout. So that's what we learn, and it is the originality and the novelty that this film consists of. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Myself, Kritika, and I'm gonna explain about the key learnings. Firstly, leadership in actions. Coach Herman Boone, leadership is the backbone of the movie. He leads with a clear vision of equality and discipline, refusing to tolerate discrimination or favoritism. His leadership style is strict but fair, which initially create resistance among players and even the community. However, Boone understands the real leadership is not about pleasing everyone, about doing what is right. He also shows emotional intelligence by understanding his players' personal struggles while pushing them to grow. And through Boone's character, the film highlights that the strong leadership can't just transform the people but also their mindset. Next, the unbreakable power of teamwork or power of teamwork. Initially, the players are divided by race, but success comes only when they work together as one team. The film teaches that collective effect is stronger, is very much stronger than the effective things. Then, okay. Overcoming prejudice and racism. The film realistically portrays how deeply rooted racial prejudice can be. At first, players only express hatred and mistrust towards each other. These biases are not limited to the team but are also reflected in parents, coach, and the community. Through shared experience, challenges, and victories, the players begin to recognize each other's humanities. The movie emphasizes that prejudice is learned and therefore can be unlearned through understanding, respect, and cooperation. Then comes building understandings. Forced communication during training campus plays a critical role in breaking barriers. Coach Boone insists that players interact, talk, and learn about each other's lives. These conversations, through uncomfortable at first, helps players understand the struggles and reality faced by their teammates. The film effectively shows that silence strengthens misunderstandings while communication creates empathy. Over time, open communication leads to trust and mutual respect within the teammates. Then, discipline and hard work. Discipline is portrayed as a key factor in the Titans' success. Coach Boone demanding training sessions and strict rules push players beyond their comfort zone. While some initially view this as harsh, the film reveals that discipline creates focus, responsibility, and resilience. Hard work on and off the field helps the team build confidence and unity. The movie reinforces the idea that talent alone is not enough. Consistent effort and discipline are necessary for excellence both in personal and in professional life. Mm. Then, friendship beyond differences. The friendship between Gary Betriel and Ulysses, both are the main role in the film, stands out as one of the most powerful element of the film. Their relationship evolves from hostility to deep mutual respect. As leaders of their respective groups, their friendship influenced the rest of the group. Their friendship influenced the team to follow their example. This subplot demonstrates how individual change can inspire collective transformation and highlights the emotional strength of genuine human connections. And then courage. Courage to stand for what is right. Many characters in the film show moral courage by standing up against injustice. Coach Boone faces criticism and threats but refuses to compromise his values. Players also comfort teammates when they act unfairly. The film teaches that meaningful change requires bravery, the courage to challenge wrong behavior, even when it comes with personal risk. Sport as a tool for social change. Football is reminder the Titans becomes more than a sport. It becomes a platform for social interactions. As the team succeeds, the community begins to unite in support of the Titans, setting aside racial divisions. The film illustrates how sports can bring people together by creating a shared identity and common pride. This highlights the broader impact sports can have in promoting social harmony. Then the foundation of the victory. Uh, Coach Boone earns the respect and loyalty of his players by treating everyone equally and holding all accountability to same standards. This fairness builds trust within the team and encourages players to give their best. This movie shows that respect can't be demanded. It must be earned through integrity, consistency, and fairness. Overall, remember the Titans is a powerful and emotionally engaging film that delivers timeless lessons on leadership, unity, and humanity. Thank you.
Hi guys, today we're going to see the strength of the movie Remember the Titans, a true Trump unity. I'm Hemant. So, one of the greatest strengths of this movie is that how it blends sports, leadership, and social change into a single powerful narrative based on the true story. The film focuses on overcoming prejudge and division of right from title. The movie makes it clear that the unity is the real victory, not just the success on real football field. Beyond the game, a story of a real life impact. The major strength of the movie is that it is a real life inspired event. It is based on interaction of T.C. Williams High School in Alexandria, Virginia during 1971. This historical settings add the authenticity and seriousness to the story. This movie shows a high school football team facing rationalism, prejudged, and social division. Because of these events actually happened, the impact of this movie feels realistic and more emotionally powerful. Forging unity, the power of the team over division. One of the strongest messages of this movie is that unity through teamwork. The film clearly shows the common goals can be overcome, deeply rooted, prejudged. By addressing the social discrimination and inequality, the movie highlights the respect of mutual understanding. The philosophy of the team before self comes the foundation of success. This is the key strength because it shows how teamwork is more powerful than hatred or division. The inspiration leadership gliding through adversity. Leadership is the major strength of the movie. The coach demonstrates discipline, the value-based leadership, pushing players to grow through discomfort. The coach Janset represent ethical leadership and integrate, prioritize his player well-being. The commitment of these leadership style helps the team face adversity and grow together. The strong portrayal of leadership adds depth and realism to the movie. The compelling storytelling crafting emotion connections. The movie storytelling is one of the strongest elements. It balances conflict, motivation, emotion very effectively. The intense training camp focuses players to bond. The Ketchlery scene powerful highlights the meaningless of rationalism division. The movement of honor, emotional worth, strength, the connection between the audience and the characters. Discipline, teamwork, and unwavering motivation. Another strength of this movie is that it focuses on discipline, collective efforts. Football becomes a meteor of united and cooperation. Player learns to rely on each other regardless of the background. Discipline, hard work, and mutual trust are shown as the key success. This motivates not only the characters but also the audience. Timeless changes for the modern solutions or modern challenges. One of the greatest strengths of this movie, Remember Titans, it is timeless relevant. It is not just a sports movie, but a lesson in leadership, humanity, and unity. This theme also applies even today in schools, workspace, society. This movie provides a valuable insights to how people from different backgrounds can work together. Key strength, a powerful narrative toolkit. This slide summarizes the core strength of the movie. It delivers a strong social message of rationalism, inequality. Leadership is portrayed powerful and realistic. The emotional storytelling connects deeply within the audience. This movie also has a strong motivational value, inspiring courage. These combination strengths make the film impactful, lesson in humanity and unity. In conclusion, the Remember the Titans goes beyond the sports genre. It offers deep insights in humanity capacity for change, acceptance, and creative achievements. This movie's greatest strength is its message of unity. Its legacy continues to inspire audience by remaining as the unity, respect, and cooperation are the strongest foundation of success. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Sharon. So I'm going to do the CA3 for the YouTube review of Remember the Titans for the business communication assignment. So this Remember the Titans movie has been released in 2000. So it is basically a movie which is based upon against the racism. So uh, so I'm going to take the weakness part of the movie. So yeah, Remember the Titans is one of the most popular sports movie because it gives a strong message about unity, leadership, and teamwork. So it motivates the audience emotionally and shows how people from different backgrounds can come together. However, when we look at the movie from a critical point of view, we can also identify some of the important weaknesses in the way the story is written and presented. So yeah, so one major weakness of the movie is that it simplifies the problem of racism and discrimination. So the movie is set in a time where racial segregation and discrimination were very serious issues in America at that time, especially in schools and colleges and some of the public communities. But in the film, racism is shown as something that can be solved quickly within weeks of training camp. And in reality, hatred and prejudice are deeply motivated, I mean, rooted in society, and they take years uh, or even generations to change. So the movie gives the audience the feeling just playing the football together and bonding as teammates, and it is enough to remove racism completely, which is not fully realistic, and it is a not practical thing. And the another weakness is the movie uses a feel-good Hollywood formula where the story becomes emotionally satisfying, but not always accurate. The conflicts are intense in the beginning, but later the movie quickly turns towards friendship, emotional unity, and success. This makes the narrative inspiring, but it also reduces the seriousness of the real social struggles. The racism shown in the movies often becomes a background theme after some point, and the film mainly focuses on football success rather than showing the long-term impact of discrimination on people lives. And the movie shows the story through a hero-centered perspective, and especially focusing on the coach Booney as the main character. And Coach Booney is portrayed as everything. That is, he is making himself as strong, street, and powerful, and almost everything improves because of the decision and leadership. But because this movie is too much attention on mainly him and some characters that has been less developed. Like apart from the coach Booney, a few players like uh, Gary Bertier and Julius Campbell get some meaningful scenes, but not many other team members who remain in the background without some strong personal stories. So the movie becomes like a coach victory story rather than fully exploring the emotions and the experiences of every player. So another weakness is they are for they for lacks in the deeper character development. Some characters are written in a way that they represent a specific group or stereotype rather than being fully realistic individuals. So, for example, some certain players are shown as aggressive, racist at first, and then suddenly they turn into supportive teammates. But it is not showing clearly that they are against one racist or they are supporting the team. So it is not clear in the story lineup. So it doesn't show the true emotional growth or some personal struggle. So that real people experience change their mindset. This makes the change looks easy and predictable instead of complex among the characters. And uh, another important weakness is the impression that sports alone can solve social problem is not happen every times. So it highlights football as a tool that brings unity, which is true to some extent, but not all the time. Uh, Maybe racism is not a just personal issue. It is between individuals. It is connected with society, culture, education, and politics, history as well. So the movie does not go on not deep into these factors. It shows unity between the team, but it does not strongly explore how the broader community, school environment, and social pressure continue to affect people. This makes the movie message powerful but slightly incomplete. So yes, that's all about from my side. Finally, to conclude, even though remember the Titans is a great movie with strong motivation and an uplifting message, it still has weaknesses like the before I said, like oversimplifying racism using a predictable Hollywood sports format. It is like some other every other sports movies. If someone is focusing on the normal Hollywood, like the sports movie, it is same like that. It's not uh, completely depending upon the racism kind of social messages and all. So overall, it is an inspiring film, but from a critical view, it does not fully capture the long-term complete complexity and seriousness of the real social issues behind the story. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Aprupa. I'm going to give a quick review on the movie Remember the Titans. It is not just a sports drama, but it is a powerful story about leadership, motivation, teamwork, and also the social change that is set against the racial segregation in America. So, the core message of this movie is how a strong leadership and shared goals, purpose can actually transform a conflict into a unity. Throughout the journey of a newly integrated football team, the film shows how motivation and belief can overcome the prejudice and divisions. So, let's watch a video of how initially the team was being introduced with each themselves.
Black inside, black inside, black inside.
Hey, yo, P-Day, how many yards you figure you gonna get this season, bruh?
You know, I ain't want to brag, Big Blue, but I figure on at least 1,000. But I didn't want to brag.
Hey, didn't I tell you all them white boys weren't gonna play for no bro?
So, as we could see in this video, initially the team is divided by race, ego, and fear. However, the movie clearly shows that division is not a weakness, but it is a competitive advantage once they build a trust. The coach Boney does not motivate its players only to win the matches, but he tries to forcefully change the mindset of divisions and to come out of their comfort zones. His leadership style is basically on discipline, equality, and high expectations for everyone, regardless of the race. So now let's watch how he motivated his players.
You listen. Take a lesson from the dead. If we don't come together right now on this hollow ground, we too will be destroyed.
Great. The leadership he practices is transformational leadership theory, where the leader actually inspires people to rise above their personal differences and work for a common goal. The motivation here is not an external reward, but intrinsic motivation. The desire to be belong and succeed as a unified team. The audience is also motivated to reflect their own prejudice and realize that the team identity is stronger than individual identity. So, and also the emotionally, the movie creates a deep impact by showing the teamwork develops over the time. The turning point occurs when the players stop seeing each other as a rival and begin seeing each other as a teammate and even as a family. So the trust, communication, and the mutual respect became the foundation of the success. This scene, we would see it now.
I can play with Roosevelt, but I cannot play with these guys. I tell you what, I leave it on the bench all year, so I'll just go down and Katie, and he's better. You want him to take your spot? You go give it to him.
So, the video visually represents how shared goals transform individual efforts into a collective performance. Further, the audience, this is highly inspiring. It reminds us the great team are built, not born. Conflicts are natural, but unity is a choice. Leadership requires courage and empathy. So, to conclude, the movie inspired the audience to believe that change is possible whether it is a sports team, organizations, or a society. Team is everywhere. So, its message remains highly relevant even today, making it a strong learning tool for management and leadership studies. In closing, the Remember the Titans demonstrates how purposeful leadership can shape attitudes, behaviors, and outcomes beyond the field of sports. The film highlights the motivation becomes powerful when individuals are treated fairness and held in the same standards. This approach builds trust, accountability, and commitment within the group. By presenting diversity as a source of strength rather than division, the movie encourages the audience to rethink how differences can be used constructively and when guided by a common objective. So, for students and future professionals, the film offers a practical insight. The successful teams are created through consistent leadership, mutual respect, and alignment towards the shared goals. Ultimately, the reminders of the Titan leaves us with a lasting impression that meaningful changes when people choose cooperation over conflicts and purpose over prejudice. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to present my overall assessment and final verdict of the movie Remember the Titans. This film stands out as more than a sport drama. It is meaningful and emotionally engaging movie that uses football as a powerful tool to communicate social values, leadership, principles, and human unity. Overall assessment and storytelling. From an overall perspective, remembering the Titan's success because of its strong storytelling and emotional impact, the movie balances entertainment with a serious message, making it both engaging through thought provoking. The narrative is simple but effective. It focuses on relationship, personal growth, and transformation rather than just winning games. This makes the story relatable and easy to connect with, even for viewers who are interested in sports. The emotional moments are well placed and leave a lasting impression without feeling forced. One of the biggest strengths of the film is the performance. Denzel Washington delivers a powerful and convincing performance, bringing intensity, discipline, depth to his role. Screen presence adds credibility and emotional weight to the story. The supporting character also performs well, portraying realistic emotions such as anger, fear, resistance, and acceptance. The direction ensures that every character contributes to the overall message of unity and teamwork. Overall, the performance elevates the movie from a typical sport film to an inspiring cinematic experience. The theme of the movie are its strongest asset. Remember, the Titans effectively addresses racism, equality, leadership, and teamwork in a way that feels natural and impactful. Instead of delivering lectures, the movie shows changes through actions and relationships. It highlights how understanding and cooperation can overcome division and prejudice. These themes are timeless and relevant, making the movie meaningful even today. In terms of strength, the movie offers strong emotional connection, clear moral message, powerful performance, inspiring and motivational tone. However, the movie does have minor limitations. Some scenes are slightly dramatized, and some stories simplify complex social issues. These creative choices help deliver the message clearly and effectively to wider audience. Overall, the strength strongly outweigh the limitations. Remember the Titan is an impactful and inspiring film that leaves the audience with a strong sense of hope and responsibility. It reminds us that leadership requires courage, unity requires efforts, and true success is measured not only by victory but by values. And I would rate this film 4.5 out of 5. A timeless message uniting through humanity. Shared humanity, unified effort, enduring values resonates the timeless example of how humanity and shared purpose can transcend division and prejudice, fostering true team spirit both on and off the field. Um, Still, there is a question why this story still matters. Its portrayal of racial integration offers lesson in overcoming social barriers that remain relevant today. The film champions empathy and understanding, reminding us of a shared humanity. It's a powerful narrative about personal sacrifice and pursuit of common goal. Theme of leadership and teamwork are universal, inspiring audience across. generation. The conclusion here is a movie meant to be recommended. The movie is not just meant to be watched, it's meant to be remembered, cherished, and revisited for its powerful lessons. Remember, the Titan stands as a timeless example of how teamwork, compassion, and unwavering humanity can ultimately overcome division, creating a legacy inspire us all. Thank you.